You're special to me. It was my fault Hayato had become Kagura's assistant. Ihara had suggested that Kikuya should hold on to the valuables I'd obtained. Like, I'm just thinking, I just realized, if he's the assistant again, he probably can't make money, so he's gonna stay in the care, or like he's gonna be a courtesan for longer just because he's an assistant. So she actually did something that's like quite has like a big impact. I couldn't collect my thoughts, and a few days had passed by. On my way back from doing an errand in Yoshiwara, I stopped by the Inari shrine. And then, Misao! I suddenly heard my name and quickly turned around to see who it was. Hayato, why are you here? Kikuya isn't open yet, so I came by to pray. Well, I don't have much freedom now that I work under Kagura. Oh, I see. Our unexpected meeting reminded me of what had happened the other day, and my chest hurt. Don't make that face. How many times have I told you that it's not your fault? Ihara said that too, didn't he? Yeah, but isn't your training hard? I wouldn't say that. Don't worry about it. Kagura is stubborn and strict, but deep down he's a good person. He's very thoughtful of me, so you really don't need to worry. My daily life is just a bit more cramped, but I feel bad for making Kagura looking after me. I see. He anxiously reached out to me and gently petted my head. More importantly, what did Ihara say to you after I left, Misao? Huh? He won't tell me no matter how many times I ask him. His mouth is clamped shut tighter than any oyster. I wanted to ask you the next time we met. I didn't know what to tell him. There was no way I could tell Hayato that Ihara wanted me to have him hold on to the valuables. He told me about the time you'd started working at Kikuya. He told you about that stuff? Hayato looked at me suspiciously. Yes, he did. Anyway, you're doing better than I thought. That makes me happy. Oh yeah, there's no point in being sad. I'm more suspicious that you're hiding something. I'm not hiding anything? Really? Yes, really? He looked deep into my eyes and my heartbeat started to get faster. I was scared that he'd figured out that I was hiding something from him. His clear eyes looked straight at me and I couldn't calm down. What are you hiding, Misao? Huh? He sounded a little annoyed, but not angry. Hayato held me close. His kimono was slightly undone, and my face touched his bare chest directly. You can't hide anything from me, okay? He spoke sadly, and I couldn't separate myself from him even if I wanted to. I decided to lean on him, hold on to his kimono, stand there frozen. I would say just hold on to him. I held onto Hayato's kimono tightly. It was so painful for me. Misao, please stop worrying all by yourself. Okay. I gave him a one-word answer as I sighed onto Hayato's chest. I turned my face over. I'm sorry, Hayato. Why are you apologizing? I just want to think about it by myself for a bit longer. So, Hayato then used his hands to rub my back and head. He moved his hands so gently, and it felt like they were sucking me in. My heart started to beat unnecessarily faster. Okay, if that's what you want, I won't ask. But his hand suddenly stopped. He let me go, but left one hand on my waist to support it. He then moved his other hand up to my face. I want to take all of your unhappiness from you, and I'll protect you no matter what. As he looked at me, I could see his eyes glistening with tears. For some reason, I just couldn't look away. There was a clenching pain in my chest. Misao, you know why I'm telling you this, right? Huh? Suddenly, there was no space left between us and we kissed. Did we ever see this before? I didn't even have time to blink. Not a single thought ran through my head. His soft lips were a little cold as he pressed them up against mine. I opened my eyelids and we were so close that our eyelashes were almost touching. And in the next moment, he slowly took his lips away. You're so special to me. No one can replace you. You're so important to me. He hugged me one more time. This time his grip was tighter. It was so strong and intense. It felt like he was smothering me. Hayato. My heart filled with emotion and they overflowed in the form of my tears. Thinking back, I remembered that Hayato was tearing up just a second ago. What happened to his tears? Occupied with my thoughts, I clung to Hayato. I feel the same. If we don't meet again for a few more years, I'll see you when my contract is up, and I won't be courtesan any longer. But I might be too late by then. If I wait until then, some other courtesan might steal you from me. No, it couldn't be another guy, it's just like another courtesan. That's not true. It's rare for people not to follow this island's customs. I'm sure you'll start visiting the pleasure district regularly, just like the others. But I just couldn't imagine myself doing that. I couldn't hug, kiss, or even sleep next to another man. Hayato was the only person I could do those things with. He was irreplaceable for me. I'm so thankful that we were able to meet here. I'm so glad that we'd been reunited here on that night. I love you, Misao. Oh, it was so hard to breathe and it felt like my bones were creaking. He hugged me so tightly. I've been waiting for him to do all of this. His touch, his words, they were exactly what I wanted. And now, I was in deep bliss. In these past few minutes, my wavering heart had become resolute. We continued to hug each other. Why is the screen black? For a little while longer. I have to go back soon, but let's stay like this for a little longer. After holding me so tightly, it felt like Hayato was holding back now. He held my hand gently and the two of us sat side by side on the shrine grounds. We were both silent. It was a bit awkward and frustrating. It was a strange silence. I decided to say ... Yeah, I decided to say ... The weather is nice today. Do you have any candy with you today? Yeah, like the weather's nice. Like, no, let's do the candy. Do you have any candy with you today? I didn't know what to talk about and said the first thing that came to mind. Yeah, I do. You really do love comfort candies, don't you? Hayato smiled and brought out the candies from his breast pocket. I tossed them into my mouth. Thanks. As our fingertips grazed each other's, I suddenly remembered our kiss and started to blush. Next to me, Hayato looked up at the sky and let out a deep breath. It's almost sunset. Those words stung my chest. Yes, he was a courtesan. Hayato would disappear, and he would have to become Hayabusa in a little bit. Oh yeah, today's Tako's going to be walking around Yoshiwara. Hayato's expression slowly became brighter. That reminded me about whether Tako had ratted us or not. We never figured it out. That thought popped into my head, but looking at Hayato's smile made me realize how tasteless it would be to bring it up. Misao, have you seen the courtesans as they walk in a line around the pleasure district? Yeah, the first time I came to Yoshiwara, Tako had been walking around. I see, you're pretty lucky. Tako is beautiful and said to be Yoshiwara's best courtesan. Really? Are you really asking that? You didn't understand how alluring his charm was? No, but I did think he was extremely pretty. I was fascinated by him, but but I'm sure you'd be just as pretty if they dressed you up too. Huh? Hayato's eyes opened up wide. Did I say something strange? I started to pout. You say the craziest things. Why? Compete with Takao? I wouldn't have a chance. Are you sure? Yeah, because I look up to him. You do? Yeah, he's an outstanding courtesan. At Kikuya, Takao and Kagura are always fighting for first place. I'm appealing in a different way than those two, so I can't compete. But I think Takao was born to be a courtesan. Kagura, on the other hand, raises the standards for what an outstanding courtesan should be. As Hayato talked about Takao and Kagura, he looked like a little boy as his eyes twinkled brightly. That's wonderful. Courtesans are so mysterious. Yeah, I want to become a magnificent courtesan as well someday. It was like Hayato was painting a picture inside his head. I inhaled all of my excitement, let out a deep breath, and smiled. There was no time to be sad. There was no way I could frown when the person in front of me looked so cheerful despite him being a courtesan. I needed to support him. I'd love to help you get there someday. What are you saying? The amount of money that would take is... Hayato stopped mid-sentence. It seemed like he'd realized something. Yes. If I used the valuables in my procession, I was sure he could walk around Yoshiwara. I'm sure you'll be pretty when you parade around with the other courtesans. I spoke and smiled before he could say anything. Hayato would have to smile back at me in return. I was sure of it. We spent our time there together casually. Then, when the evening approached, we both left the Inari shrine. And then, that night, I wrapped the valuable items in a big cloth and hurried to Yoshiwara. I'd packed everything nice and tightly and finally arrived at Kikuya. Well, if this isn't Miss Misao, welcome. Ihira greeted me in the same manner as always. I'd made up my mind and took in a deep breath. Ihira, about what we discussed the other day. Have you made a decision? Yes. My. I'm sure Hayabusa will be pleased. I've brought everything with me, but what is it? Could you please keep this a secret from Hayato? Oh, but why? I want to talk to him about it properly. I'll tell him why I gave these items to you and what I want to do from here on out. He won't be convinced unless I talk to him directly about it. I know this is out of the ordinary, but a stubborn man is so troublesome. But if you fall for one, there's no going back. I hope that's true. You really are cute, young lady. Please don't tease me. I'm not. Despite his words, Ihira started to loosen up his lips. I couldn't control my cheek from becoming bright red. Worry not. I won't tell him about this. Thank you so much. Think nothing of it. Well then, will you let me see the items? Let's go to my room in the back. Okay. The second I passed the valuables on to Ihira, I'd be looking through those belongings. Along with a startling shout, I could hear numerous footsteps trotting into Kikuya. Huh? It was the patrol squad supervisor. Had they been standing guard this whole time? Uh-oh. Or had they been following me? Ihira, hand that sack over. I can't let you examine our guest's personal belongings. So you won't listen to my request? I'm not convinced. In that case, we'll just have to arrest you, too. Oh, under what charges? Interfering with an investigation is a punishable crime. But these are just her belongings. Enough, hand them over. Investigate that parcel. Damn. Yes, ma'am. Stop. The patrol squadron struggled with Ihira. The valuable treasures scattered around our feet. Everyone in the room stopped. We were all frozen. My entire body was going pale. This might be the end of me.